If you're stuck at 30% body fat and you've tried every diet, every workout plan, everything you can find your hands on, and nothing seems to be fucking changing, you're not alone. Most lads who fail at 30% body fat don't fail because they're not trying hard enough when they're on it. It's because they don't have a system in place that actually works for the long run to get them from where they are at the minute to where they want to be. And in this video, that is exactly what we're going to fix. If I was starting at 30% body fat right now and I wanted to get down and get lean, here is exactly what I would do and how I would do it. And this is the exact same systems that I use with all of my coaching clients, like my client Ed, who we started at 93 kilos and we got him down to 77 kilos within 28 weeks. Most lads I see, they try and dive straight into a deficit and wonder why they crash and burn out after a couple of weeks. Everything is changing all at once. It's a lot to take on. Their body is adjusting quickly and they've got a pretty shit starting position. The first 2 weeks aren't about losing body fat. They're about getting that starting point, and I call it a priming phase. The first thing you're going to want to do is calculate your maintenance calories. This is going to be the starting point, and this will be the calories you eat for the first 2 weeks. Take your body weight in pounds and times that by 15. That is your starting calorie target. For the first 2 weeks, you're literally going to eat this day in, day out. I want you to weigh yourself in the morning, every day fasted, and you're going to write that weight down. That's going to enable you to take a weekly weight and an average over the course of the week to remove any day-to-day fluctuations out of it. Use the first 2 weeks to get everything set in place. Get your meal prep set up. Get used to tracking calories. Start that baseline level of movement. The reason the priming phase works so well is because everything gets locked in when it's easier. It's easier being at maintenance than it is being in a deficit. So use this time productively, and when you do get into a deficit, you're going to be ready to go properly. You're not starting from a shit foundation. After the first 2 weeks of maintenance, look at your average weight from week 1, look at your average weight from week 2 and see what has happened. This is where you're going to start your deficit now. So you're going to take 500 calories away from that maintenance number from your food. This will put you into a deficit. This isn't intended to be a super aggressive deficit straight out the door. We don't want to slice your calories too low too soon. We want to keep all of those calories and all of the tools in the tool belt, so when things do start to slow down later, if you do start to see a bit of a plateau, we can pull away from that number. Going too hard too soon, unless you're on a really short timeline, is going to make it really fucking hard to stick to, and also it's going to take all the tools out of the tool belt for you. To pair alongside your calorie targets, you want to be then looking at your protein and your macros. So to set your protein first, which is the most important macronutrient to get right here out the doors, you want to take your body weight in pounds and eat that as your protein. So if you was 200 pounds, you'd be eating 200 grams of protein a day. For Ed sat at 93 kilos when he started his transformation, that's around 205 grams of protein to eat per day. It sounds like a lot when you first see it, but when you split that across 4 to 5 meals in a day, it's not actually that much. Protein is going to be a massive lever to help you retain your muscle and even build some muscle when you are in a deficit. And it's also going to massively help you with staying satiated, as it is the most filling macronutrient out of protein, carbs and fats. If you skip your protein and you don't pay good attention to it, don't be surprised when you're left looking really skinny, really slim, and you've lost a decent amount of muscle mass throughout your cut. In terms of setting your other macros, take your body weight in pounds and times it by 0.3, and that is your fats. The remaining calories you have left is your carbohydrate intake. Protein and fats are the two essential macronutrients your body needs. Carbs are the luxury that you get in between, but carbs are going to be the thing that you'll pull down the most to leverage a bigger deficit later down the line. The next thing you need to think about is your training, okay? Weight training is an absolute fundamental behind any successful transformation. You do not want to be the guy that loses a shitload of weight and is left skinny as fuck because he just smashed a load of cardio, smashed steps, and completely ignored weight training. It hasn't got to be 6-7 sessions a week, anywhere from 3 to 5 sessions, depending on your experience and the time you've got available. But you want to be training like you're trying to build muscle still. One of the biggest errors guys make is they go in the gym and they increase their wet ranges, they use too light of a weight, and they think they're training for fat loss. Training is not a tool to help you with fat loss. Training is a tool to help you with muscle retention. I recommend that you track all of your workouts. This is going to stop your numbers dropping off massively, especially if you're feeling a bit tired and a bit fucked from being in a deficit. Numbers you can't argue with. If you've got numbers logged down, chances are you're going to hold on to your training performance a lot better as your deficit progresses. In terms of training frequency, I would recommend picking a split that will allow you to train each muscle group at least 2 times per week. I wouldn't recommend a bro split. We are past that stage now. Old school, keep it there. People will say that you can't get stronger and you can't build muscle when you're in a deficit. They're fucking lying to you. You can. I've seen it with my own eyes and I see it with my clients all the time. You've only got to look at Ed. Ed got stronger pretty much every single week of his 28-week cut. We was going over his training, making sure he was training accurately and at the right intensity to build and retain muscle at the same time. When you're starting from around 30% body fat, you're not going to be high in diet fatigue. Your energy levels aren't going to be wiped out if you've got all the other things set up. You should still be able to go into the gym and progress near enough every week. That doesn't mean shitloads extra weight every week, but at least holding your reps and even not taking a little bit more every couple of weeks. This will add up massively, and how well you can maintain your training performance throughout your transformation will have a huge impact on how good the end look is. Do not neglect your training and think that it's just something you can worry about later down the line when you come into a gaining phase, because you will lose a shitload of muscle. Now, here's the bit that nobody talks about. If your progress is starting to slow down a little bit, you're looking at your weekly average weights and they haven't moved in a couple of weeks, your photos aren't changing too much, this is where it's time to make some change. But it's really important that you pull the lever that makes the most sense for you, no one else. You've got to create a deficit from somewhere. Your available options is by increasing your output through steps or cardio, or by pulling down your food. Which lever you pull completely depends on your life. If you're extremely busy and you've barely got any extra spare time in the day, then the one that makes the most sense to pull down is going to be your food. If you've got a bit more free time, maybe you're a uni student or something like that, start ramping up some extra steps or cardio because you've got the time there, and then you can keep your food a little bit higher, which will help you with training. Most people I work with sit somewhere in the middle. We don't just attack one thing aggressively, we will slowly bump up output over time and we'll slowly bring down that food over time. You have to remember that a deficit isn't a phase that you're trying to sustain forever. It only needs to be sustainable until you've completed it. So what you're doing at the minute to get the fat off isn't going to be what you need to do to maintain that physique after, if you properly reverse diet and then you go into a maintenance phase. Really important, because guys will talk themselves out of it and tell themselves it's too unsustainable. But it's not meant to be sustainable. If it was sustainable, you'd starve to death eventually, wouldn't you? For the guys that are really time short but still want to increase their output a little bit, HIIT can be useful, but just be conscious that it will drive up fatigue a little bit quicker than low intensity, steady state cardio. So just be cautious of that, because it can make you really hungry and affect your recovery. Right, before I show you the phasing structure that is going to tie all of this together and make it make sense, if you want to get the first 4 weeks sorted for free, I've got a link below for 4 weeks free coaching where we'll set up your diet for you, we'll give you a selection of training programs, and we'll give you an accountability tracker so you can keep logging all of this, and it will take all the thought process out of it. It's the first link in the description below. Take a look at that and it will get you set up and in the right direction. Now back to the video. Here is the bit that separates the guys that quit in week 5, week 6 from the guys that see it through, and it's how you structure this and it's how you put the phases together. I do not recommend anyone diets for a 6-month window straight. You'll burn out, your hormones will dive, your training performance will drop, and you'll end up just fucking hating it. The method that I use, the CK method, is 8 weeks in a deficit, 1 week in a diet break. And you basically just rinse and repeat these phases for long enough until you get to where you need to get to. In those 8-week dieting phases, your goal is to try and take off a minimum of £1 pound a week. So by the end of it, you should be looking to have taken off 4 to 6 kilograms. After the 8 weeks are up, you then put your calories up 500 a day back to your maintenance point. Pull down your steps a little bit, pull down your cardio. And this week is all about maintaining the point you're at, solidifying it, resting and recovering, and replenishing yourself so you can go again. Think about these weeks a little bit like a slingshot, where you're taking a slight pull back to fire yourself forward again. Recharge your batteries and you're good to go. This isn't a cheat meal, this isn't a cheat week, this isn't a reason to go and undo the last 8 weeks of hard work. These phases aren't optional. These phases are necessary to see it through and get to the end in a good place. They won't just make it more enjoyable, but they help you create urgency. You know you've got an 8-week block where you're fucking locked in and you do not miss, and then you've got that week with a bit more flexibility. It will also help you maintain your training performance, and it will also help you maintain a better hormonal profile as you cut in your deficit so your testosterone doesn't tank too hard. Ed done this exact structure. He started with a 2-week maintenance phase. He then had 3 blocks of 8 weeks broken up with a diet break in between, and that was his transformation complete. He started at 93 kilos, he finished at 77 kilos, sub 10% body fat. He didn't just finish and look quite skinny and soft, he finished and he looked fucking sick. He got stronger near enough every week of this transformation. The lads who try and push through 20 weeks straight of dieting are the lads that end up quitting and rebounding massively. The guys that put this together with the right phases and the right structure are the ones that see it through, and also the ones that look the best when it comes to that end date. 30% body fat to 10% isn't complicated, it's literally the 6 steps we've spoken through in this video. Most guys and most videos you'll see will try and make it 10 times more complicated than it needs to be. Run a priming phase, use that period of time to get everything set for getting into your deficit, work out your maintenance calories, take 500 away, calculate your protein and then your remaining carbs and fats with the ratios I told you earlier on in the video. Lift weights 3 to 5 times per week and aim to progress and get stronger throughout your cut, and then leverage more steps, more cardio, or pull food down as and when your average weight slow down and your photos stop changing. It's really that simple, guys. That's it. That's how Ed went from 93 to 77 kilos. That's how over 500 guys I've coached have done it too. You've got the exact system, now you've just got to apply it. But we all know the difference between having the information and actually applying it is accountability. And that is why I've got a one-to-one call booking link below. If you like this full setup, tailored to your specific situation for you, with weekly accountability with myself through completely tailored and personalized one-to-one coaching, make sure you click that link below and get a call booked in. If you've enjoyed this video, make sure you give the video a like. It really helps the channel out. Comment below where you're at the minute and what you're struggling with, and I'll get back to everyone. And subscribe for more coaching videos like this, showing what is proven to work in the real world, not just from a textbook. Thank you for watching, lads, and I'll see you in the next one.